And I think one of the things about being an interior designer or decorator, as I wish to call myself, is the fact that it's a full-time service job. I mean, you can be called in the middle of the night, first thing in the morning, last thing in the day, and service is what people are getting when they hire a designer or decorator. And you need that service and you want that attention. It's like having a nanny, I guess, when you're young, but somebody with you all the time, holding your hand and telling you what to do and how to do it, and make it so that you're happy in it.
I think that anytime a client hires you or hires your services, you need to give 110% of it, 110% of your creativity and of the service of making them feel relaxed and comfortable. But to me, most important is being professional, having a contract, how you bill, the fact of being very exposed to what your finances are to your client.
I always try to demystify the process of architecture and involve them in that process. We always welcome our client through the design process. And I think what becomes very transparent is our passion for architecture. I always tell my client that what I do is my full-time hobby. And it's nice that they pay me for doing it. But it's true, I've always loved architecture so much that it becomes contagious. And I've been in meetings with clients and they talk about that, is it becomes fun for them. And the fact that we explain the process to them, we educate them about the process, allows us to raise the bar in terms of where they want to be.
For service, we're all or nothing people. We just give ourselves totally to what we're doing. Our idea is that if you come to work in our studio, we're a small studio with 20 people, you ditch your ego as you get off the elevator. And the client is there, and you work with the client to interpret them, almost like a travel guide, bringing them to places that they want to go to, and then bringing them to places that are further than they ever thought of going.
How I work in my office is I have 4 architects and 2 interior designers. When I get a project, if it's a whole renovation, it goes to one of the architects. If it's just a decorative job, then it goes to, the design people. And I work with them. One person handles that job from beginning to end. They measure it, they work on the estimates, they work on the presentation, check the POs, get ready for the installation, and then they're part of that.
The first thing that we do with our clients is we establish a really deep, intense program about them, their brand, their family, whether it's contract, residential, or hospitality. It's very important to us. Second thing we do is this, we say you have our cell phones. Nobody in the studio can withhold their cell phone. And funnily enough, when you give your cell phone, nobody calls you. No, it's really interesting. I very rarely get called.
One simple thing we do is every Friday afternoon, we send an email to every one of our clients that explains to them what we've done during the week, what we expect from them. It's a great way to communicate with them, because a lot of these clients are traveling, they're out, they don't know what you're doing. The last thing you want is a phone call from a client to say, well, what have you been doing? What's happening with my project? So we want to be ahead of them.
You don't call your lawyer on a Sunday or your doctor on a Sunday. It's 9 to 5. And within those hours, you can reach me and I will call you back. But I feel that it's important that the business is run like a business, not like a friend.
I always tell my staff, if there's a bad news, if there's a delay at the city or something, never send an email with bad news in it. Always pick up the phone, the old-fashioned way, talk to your client, you can feel them, you can understand the emotions that they go through, and you can work through it, as opposed to sending an email with a bad news in it where you don't know what mood they are when they're reading it, and there's no way to provide great feedback.
I think that when you've been in business for, I hate saying 40 years, you can smell trouble. And I think that when you smell trouble, that old way of thinking, that youth way of thinking, oh, if I try harder, I'm going to change them, or I'm going to change how they react, that's never going to work. It behooves you not to take the job, because They could have a big budget, they could be famous, they could be a lot of things, but you're going to end up paying for it. And I find in an office where you're doing a lot of different projects, and one of them is a miserable situation, it affects the whole office.
We really hone in and really understand a particular niche better than I think anybody. We understand it, we serve it, and we really help to create that bridge between that design firm that really just needs a little bit of polish, needs a little bit more time, needs to be able to elevate on their kind of hierarchy of needs and focus on in a broader way on their business, and getting them to that next level where they're really in their pocket, they're targeting their client really well, reaching them very well, totally authentic, loving their business again, not burn out, good harmony in the office, all of those kind of things. I think we understand it and have the tools and really roll up our sleeves, not just go, okay, well, this is your list, good luck with that. You know, we really actually help you do it and give you the things you need to do it.